Messi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just when you think he's done everything, he comes up with something even more special.
Nani.
How are you guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Soccer Card Collective. I'm your host, Daniel, otherwise known as Azzurro_cards. We have Vincent and Luke, Cardhour and Mast_sports cards. How are you guys?
Great.
Good, Dan. You?
Bit flat, mate. Bit flat. As we were talking about before, we're
like
back in Melbourne in extended lockdown, and I've come into this pod with a bit of a, let's say, chip on my shoulder, a little bit angry, a little bit upset, and ready to unleash a little bit. What do you think?
Let it go, man. Let it go.
I'd be worried if I was at one certain company today.
Yeah, if I was a certain company today, I'd be hiding.
Unleash the beast.
That's it. How's things going in Belgium, man?
Same old. We are seeing improvements, so let's hope it continues. Let's hope these masks disappear pretty soon as well. But yeah, it's going all right. Not much is changing. That's the scary thing. It just stays the same. So it's like people are getting used to the fact that we have to live like this, and that's not good. We want to build down. With that being said, there is more fans allowed in the stadiums again too. It's just as in England with the massive crowds there. It's not that huge yet, but there's more and more fans allowed. So that's for me a massive improvement.
Yeah, for sure. It was so good to see the crowds in the Premier League over the weekend, and even in other leagues around the world. But the Prem was pretty crazy. Basically, all the stadiums were packed.
Man, that picture of Greenwood where you celebrated, the one they got on their socials, man, that was such a powerful picture. I love it. I love that one. It got me emotional. It's insane.
So it was great to see. It's almost been a year and a half since we've seen anything like that. Crazy to see. It was brilliant. It's kind of gives people hope, you know. Like if you say that
of course,
football or soccer is a beacon for hope and something that we aspire to, you know, it's really put a bit of pep in my step seeing us back in action. And I think we should go straight into it because we have a massive show for you all. Let's go week 1 of the Prem, and we'll start going around the world from there. Let me just bring it up for you guys. And I'd love to give your thoughts. Let's start out with, if that's come up on the screen, there we go. The first match to start us off was a fantastic one. Newly promoted Brentford, 2-0 over Arsenal. As bad as I thought Arsenal were going to be this season, I could not believe that this was going to be the scoreline at the end of it. Did you guys get to catch it?
No, I didn't watch it, unfortunately.
I didn't, unfortunately. But, you know, no Lacazette. I came on here last week and I said that I thought Arsenal were going to improve and take 6th spot, and they've done this to me in the first week. So that prediction's already not looking too good. But I don't know. When I heard that Lacazette and Aubameyang both weren't going to play, already then I was sort of like, oh, okay, this might be a worry. Then playing against the newly promoted side at their home, you know, full house. It's something that, you know, after it happened, I was like, you know, I probably should have seen something like this happening. But then again, you think Arsenal should have enough talent and should be capable enough to beat a newly promoted side like Brentford.
So we've got sorry, Luke, it's gone over your head, but Saucy wants us to skip it because Arsenal fans in general seem to be in for a long, long season. They're hanging their heads in shame, as from what I'm seeing on the socials. They're hiding under the covers. They're not happy at all. And you know, in my opinion, what did you really expect after this off season and the transfers or lack thereof? I didn't really see much going forward. What did you think, Vincent?
Yeah, I mean, they signed Lokonga. He was a young guy from Anderlecht, or still is a young guy from Anderlecht. Then Martinelli came back, which is always good. Then they signed Ben White for like, what was it, 50 million, something like that. Yeah. But as Luke said, there was no Aubameyang, no like Azet. Thomas still injured, and Guetta is not there. So I mean,
Saka was on the bench, I believe, as well.
Saka, yeah, I think he came on.
He came on, yeah, but
59th minute he came on.
Yeah.
Pepe is still nowhere near what people expected from him. So, yeah, it's gonna be a long season, I believe, for Arsenal. Now, Brentford is actually a pretty interesting side. Like their striker Ivan Toney, he's going so under the radar. He's pure class. So don't sleep on him this season. He's gonna score a lot of goals. I think. Like he's a monster. No one's talking about him, but you should look at his highlights. If you haven't watched him last season, just watch him. He's a beast.
Young player or established?
I think he's 25. Let me just double check that because, yeah, exactly. He's 25.
25.
But he scored 33 goals last season. He scored 24 the season before, 16 goals, 10 assists the season before of that. So he was getting ready to go to the Premier League. And he only wanted to sign with a Premier League team, but now he got Brentford to the Premier League, so he's probably staying there unless someone huge comes with a big deal or something. But he always wanted to play in the Premier League. So there you go. I'm not really sure why no one decided to sign him or that he didn't want to go there himself. But this guy is a goal scoring machine. Like again, and he always gives assists too. Like his last season with Brentford in the Championship, he scored 33 goals and gave 10 assists in 48 games. So the season before, 24 goals, 10 assists in 32 games. So guy does everything. So he's pure class. I really cannot wait to see him play against these Premier League teams this season.
It's impressive. It's very impressive. We
Yeah.
will see. Maybe we'll get some rookie cards from the next product. Next up, we've got the big match, which was on stream on double coverage, watching live. Manchester United leads 5-1. Did not expect that at all. Again, that's probably one that I thought that Manchester United would win, but from that scoreline, I was, shocked. What about you guys? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was one when we were sitting there. I was sort of as I was watching, I was contemplating: are Leeds playing that badly, or are United playing that well? And I sort of think it was a bit of a combination of both. But it was a class. Pogba with 4 assists, Bruno with 3 goals and an assist. It was a class performance from those two. Stadium was packed. But shout out to Leeds though. I can't remember who scored the goal, but they scored an absolute cracker.
Yeah, that was an insane goal.
Yeah, we watched that one on stream. It was pretty entertaining. I don't know if we're going to be doing that weekly now or every now and again, but definitely.
Ayling scored the goal, yeah.
Ayling, yeah. Definitely keep an eye on Double Coverage Network because, we do those. I say we're going to do them pretty frequently, I think.
Vincent, what are your thoughts?
I haven't watched the game, but that was my first reaction. Is it Manchester United just ripping, or is Leeds just that bad this season? And after watching the highlights, I have to go with the second one. Their defense was shocking. I think I gave you some pictures to show. Now, to start off, I don't want to take everything away from Manchester United, as they did manage to score 5. But it was like very poor decisions of defenders and bad positioning. Like this is one of them. Like I think it was a counter. But then again, you don't have to run with 2 guys to Pogba if the midfield is wide open. Then you see people are trying to chase down their guys or their attackers. Pogba gives the ball to the middle. Like instead of going through the middle where there is literally no one, he tries to cover Pogba as well. Like Pogba is not gonna dribble like 2-3 players there, so you just have to run inside where there is like, look at the midfield, it's wide open. There's literally no one between. I think it's Fred that scores here. There's no one between Fred and the goalkeeper. So I understand. Like on the right side, you see 2 defenders trying to cover. I'm not sure who that is there, but there is just no one in the midfield. Like even if it's a counter, that just like you train on that sort of stuff. You don't have to go and 2 guys to Pogba. So that was one of them. And keep in mind, it's always the same 2 guys we're going to talk about. It's always Ayling, who did a poor job, and Struijk. Same here, like one ball from their own half and their whole defense is just gone. Obviously, it can happen, but it's just, again, that one guy that doesn't pay attention, that is a poor decision making. I'm not sure what it is. He thinks the other guy is offside without looking to himself. I'm not sure. Again, that's Ayling of Struijk. I just said it. Yeah, this was Ayling. So again, the same guy. He scored a cracker, but he made some very, very poor decisions as well. So he's not really paying attention. He knows there's a guy at his back, but he's not paying attention to where he is in comparison to his defenders. So again, bad judgment. Again, score. The guy scored. I think that was Bruno. And here it's like there's 5 guys between Bruno Fernandes and the goal, and he still manages to get in somehow. Like again, I think on the goal line, I think that's Ayling again. So it's always the same 2 guys, and I don't really know how you can score like. So again, a lot of bad defending, a lot of bad judgment calls. The same here. Like imagine him not shooting but giving the ball to the guy on the penalty stip, then it's just, again, a goal. So it was all over the place. Leeds really have to work on this. I'm not sure if it was the first game, it's away from home, the stadium is packed. I don't know if it was like anxiety or whatever, I don't know, but this is just horrible defending. But then again, I don't want to take anything away from Manchester United, because I saw some actions of Pogba, these through balls and stuff, and was quality. It really had a good game. But I don't think you have to try this against a team like City or Chelsea, because it's not going to work. But yeah, again, 5-1 number speaks for themselves, though.
For sure. It was definitely, as Dom was saying here, they were definitely playing against statues in the back. And I think I even said in the stream that, you know, some of those defensive errors were schoolboy stuff, you know, staying in line, making sure you're aware of who you are. And the second one that you showed, I feel like that's really nervousness, you know, that's being scared that you can't outrun your opponent. So that's why you put yourself in that position, but you completely ruin it for the rest of your team. You're not playing the offside trap at all. Pathetic defense. But in saying that, what a performance by Pogba, what a performance by Bruno as well. Like, nothing's taken away from that. That ball by Pogba to Greenwood was just like beautiful chef's kiss type stuff. What do you think, Lukey, of those 2 performances?
Those 2 were, world class. And now the thing for Man United fans is, how can they keep it up for the whole season, especially those 2? Because we've seen Pogba be pretty inconsistent. Can they keep that going for long enough to keep them in contention for the title? Something I asked the boys on the stream as well, because we were in there with 2-3 Man United? No, 2 of them, Ben and Doma. How do you feel with Greenwood leading your line, with Cavani, probably not being able to start every game at his age now? So how they felt about that? For some interesting reactions there.
Sancho.
Sancho leading the line, you reckon?
No, there was no Sancho.
Oh, no Sancho, yeah. Oh, he came on for 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, sure, but
yeah. But no, I mean, leading the line, playing at 9. I don't think Sancho's going to play at 9 this season, will he?
No, obviously not.
No.
I would put Greenwood there. He's class. His XG is insane. Like, as soon as he gets the ball, he's super clinical. So
yeah, he's still very young. That's the only thing. Like, do you think you can compete with the title with Greenwood leading your line at his age now?
I mean, you can try. They tried it with Rashford. So I mean, if you
Hey,
try it with
they can
Rashford,
try,
then
but I don't know how confident you'd be with that. You know what I mean?
just give the guy some confidence. Like he got shit on for so much. Like last year with all of the things that happening with Iceland and the national team and all of that stuff with the suicide of his friend and all of that. Like, remember, this guy is a kid. You know, he's still very young. Just give him. You just have to nurture him. You have to like build his confidence. Build him. Don't break him down like the English media tends to do. But again, that's nothing against Manchester United. But
Yeah.
I think he's a world class. He can become a world class striker if you ask me. He has everything. Like he's so calm in front of goal, the calmness on the ball. Already he's above average finishing ability. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
We'll see as the season goes on.
And obviously, Pogba and Bruno coming off fairly average Euros.
Yeah.
Showing that performance was pretty good for United fans. I mean, I'm expecting a big season from both of them. In all honesty, I think that they're fantastic. And we'll see. We'll see how we go. I'll bring up the next game.
Pogba's going to go for free at the end of the season.
Yeah, to PSG, you reckon? So
here we go.
Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 0. We've got two Chelsea fans here. Are we all going out and buying Christian Pulisic cards? Because I know that my IG was full of his cards after this game.
You're already too late, man. You're already too late. Yeah, you should have bought him yesterday. Yeah. You should have bought him yesterday.
I'm never too late because he's going to be the GOAT, right? And he's going to be the one to collect. So his stock is always going to rise.
He already is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. Yeah, that's true. That's true. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, good performance, 3-0, convincing. I'm going to butcher his name, but Trevor.
Chalobah, something like that.
I haven't said this. Chalobah? Yeah, Chalobah. Yeah. He was good. He played a fair bit of preseason. It seems like Tuchel likes him, and I see why. Like his goals a great hit from distance.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good on the ball. I thought he played quite well. Alonso's free kick, very nice. Pulisic on the score sheet as well, which is good for all those American investors out there. There's not really much else to say. 3-0 at home.
New coach as well. They brought in Patrick Vieira, Arsenal legend. Yeah. He's a new coach. And they did it without Kante. There's still no Lukaku. Ziyech was injured again. So I think it was a good performance. It was just a good win. It's just what you expect from Chelsea against Crystal Palace. I mean, last games we beat them 1-4, 4-0, 2-3, 2-0. So it's a game you should always win. And they did it. So it's a good start of the season.
And I'm not going to butcher his name as well.
Those players still to come in. It's looking good. It's looking good.
It was great to see the celebrations when what's his name? Trevor, is it?
Yeah.
When he was when he scored, just seeing the crowd go nuts and seeing how much that meant to him was really, really good. From like a post-COVID era, seeing the fans in the crowd and seeing a player like that score his first goal, that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
Next game I've got here is a pretty routine 3-0 victory by Liverpool. Any comments on that? We've got Jota, Firmino, and Salah all on the score sheet, which was good for my fantasy team. But what are your thoughts on Liverpool this season?
I think I said it before we start recording. I mean, sure, they have quality players and the system is theirs. Like they own that system. They have Van Dijk back. But I mean, it's I think the 4th or 5th season in a row they play like this with the players they have. At some point, like teams know it, try to adapt to it, try to predict it. Now, obviously, Norwich is, I mean, they play a game with going up and going down every single season. So I don't really expect much from Norwich. But Liverpool, I don't know. Obviously, they have class players. Like you cannot take that away from them. But at some point, it's gonna become like more of a routine than actually like competing. I feel like. So that's why I think they're not gonna win the league. because of that. But yeah, it's just a 3-0 win. That's what you expect from Liverpool against Norwich, I would say.
Lukey,
Yeah, similar to what Vincent said there.
pretty
I didn't
straightforward.
catch his game. Didn't catch his game, unfortunately, but I did see some stats from Van Dijk. Looked like he had a quality game. His first, competitive game back is good signs for Liverpool supporters there. 3-0 away from home, opening day. You'll definitely take that as a routine win.
Yeah. There's one win that definitely wasn't routine. That was this one here. Tottenham 1-0 over Manchester City. And a pretty underwhelming performance by Grealish if Anthony's in the chat at all. And I know Sauce is in here, and he got a little bit fired up when I gave it to him about Tottenham. What happened to you? Start with you, Lukey.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It's just first, I couldn't believe it because I woke up this morning. What time was this? Our time. It was like middle of the night, sort of, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was.
I woke up in the morning, saw the
1 to
result.
2 o'clock.
I saw the result. I was like, "What the hell has happened there?"
Cracking goal by Son.
From those possession stats, there, it looks like Tottenham got their goal and they were just happy with that. And I don't blame them at home as well. I don't know how much you'd read into this from City. I know Bernardo didn't play. I think there's a few others that were missing too from. I can't remember.
Let's bring up their lineups. I watched the extended highlights of this game, and I mean, to be honest, the amount of chances that Man City had in the first half, they absolutely dominated play. They could have had 3 goals if they wanted to, and it's just one of those things where they're not taking their chances. They come out in the second half 0-0 and look like Tottenham had a bit of control in that period there. They got their goal, and that was pretty much all she wrote, in all honesty. So they started with Mahrez, Ferran Torres, and Sterling, which is probably not their go-to forward line at all times, I would say. Then they Grealish, Fernandinho, Gundogan. Yeah, that's right.
I saw something today. Only Jesus could be a backup striker for a team with no striker.
I like it.
I don't know what we can make of that, but
I like it. What'd you take from this game, Vincent?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I think it's shocking, man. I think it's really shocking. Now, obviously, there were some players missing. True, Stones didn't play, Walker didn't play, Silva didn't play. They brought in Kevin De Bruyne. Was it minute 79-ish, something like that? But still, with the players they have against the Tottenham team, without Kane, Skip in the midfield, I don't rate Bergwijn whatsoever. So I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of everything we hear about Harry Kane is true as well. But I was not expecting this result. I cannot remember the last time Tottenham won again. Oh, it was last year. Yeah, end of last year. Tottenham 2-0. But yeah, shocking. I would say it's shocking because they lost against Leicester as well in the Community Shield. So they lost back. They're now back-to-back losses. At the start of the season.
You think they've got something? Sorry, go on.
No, I'm done.
Oh, you're done. I don't see how City can go this season without an out striker. I don't know if anyone wants to, and they don't seem to want to play Jesus. I don't sort of get it. Do they have Harry Kane planned? How much can they spend still? Is it someone else they're targeting? I heard Martinez was from Inter was a target for a little while there. I haven't heard much recently, but what do we think of that?
They seem to put all their chips forward to the Harry Kane transfer. I think that's going to cause a little bit of a domino effect if that does go through. And I don't see how it doesn't go through. Like he's pretty much mentally there, and you can't keep a player like that on your sidelines. If you're going to get good money for him, and Man City are prepared to pay for it, you let him go every day of the week. And I'm hearing that the player that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later, Dusan Vlahovic from Fiorentina, is a big target of Tottenham. So I see a little bit of a shuffling, a little bit of a merry-go-round happening with a lot of players where potentially, Harry Kane goes to City, Vlahovic goes to Tottenham, and potentially like a Scamacca or something goes to Fiorentina. So, this could be the push that Man City needed to kind of get the checkbook out and push it a little bit higher and give Tottenham what they want.
What do we got to the window closes? What do we got today? The 16th of August. So we got, 2 weeks? There's still plenty of time.
Yeah.
Foden didn't play either. So I wouldn't play with Jesus as my main striker. I mean, the guy doesn't know how to finish. And then take away Foden. There was no Kevin De Bruyne for a longer period of time. No Silva, Stones, Walker. I don't know. Well, it's good for Chelsea though, so I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah,
but,
for sure. On a personal level, this is a great result,
but yeah, I think it's shocking with the players they have. Yeah, I don't know.
So hard at the start of the season.
Yeah, again, it's the first game. Like it's really hard to.
Short turnaround too after the continental competitions as well.
Yeah.
Players would have a holiday after that. Short preseason.
It tends to affect the better teams, let's say, because they're obviously going to have more players playing in those tournaments. So I completely understand that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it with the Premier League. Don't want to go through every single game because we're going around the world now. We've got the leagues starting and we have some league matches. We're going to start with Serie A, the second best league in the world, in my opinion anyway. We don't really have any significant games in the first week. Probably the most significant is going to be Roma-Fiorentina, which I feel are going to be fairly level pegged this season. They'll be battling it out for the top 4. In my opinion, it'd be great to see Mourinho's first game. They just look like they're picking up Tammy Abraham as well. I feel like that move's pretty much done. He was in Roma, so I think that's done. That's going to be a tough match. I feel like these two are going to be really, really good teams. Obviously, Vlahovic, my guy at Fiorentina, they've got a lot to build on from last season as well. What are your thoughts on those two teams? Have you looked into them at all?
Not really. I'm going to let you take the series.
All right. I'll take it. How about I take it out? I'll take it out. I'll just keep flying through. I felt like they started off last season poorly, but they had a good second half of the season off the back of Vlahovic's performance. So I think that's going to be good. Roma as well. They've got a cracking side. They've got Zaniolo back from his knee injuries. He's a player who I put even above Ansu Fati, in all honesty. And the reason why I compare them both is because they both have significant knee injuries. So I wouldn't be investing money into their cards significantly. But if I was going to choose one of the two, I'd be picking Zaniolo because, you're picking the one that's got much less in terms of in terms of cost of entry. So that would be a cheap one if you really wanted to go for it, but proceed with caution when it comes to knee injuries. But he is phenomenal when he's coming into this season, absolutely ripped. Just watching him week in, week out for Roma, his ability to change the game is something that I haven't seen since Castano played there. So, brilliant to see, and that's a player that I've got his cards there, his rookie ticket, just because I really, really like the player more than anything, and I'm more than happy to keep that because, I feel like he represents a lot for Rome. Juventus Udinese, I think Juve.
Just to chime in there on Roma, Spinazzola is still pretty far off, isn't he?
He's a long way off.
Long way off, yeah. That's what I thought.
He
had great Euros.
Yeah, I know. I did my my Achilles January 2020, and I still am not over it. And I'm not a professional player, I get it, but man, I can barely do standing on my tippy toes with my right leg. So it takes a while. It definitely takes a while. I feel so bad for him.
Tough injury.
I feel so bad for him. Juve Udinese, I would think that's a game that they should handle quite easily. Juve as a team, I think, have an opportunity to be fantastic this season. And if it's not for their midfield, I feel like they would go really, really far in the Champions League. I think that Allegri coming back is going to make a huge difference. they did a practice match with Dybala, Ronaldo, and Chiesa on the other side. They had Kulusevski come off the bench, Bernardeschi score an absolute cracker of a goal. That forward line rivals many in Europe, in all honesty. And I think that if they do connect it all together, that could be something to watch. They need to get a player like Locatelli, who they've been linked with for like months. I feel like it's been months linked to him. He'd be a massive.
Going to be any closer.
No, Arsenal's not. It's not going to happen with Arsenal. I'm sorry. It's definitely going to go to Juve, but it's just get it over the line, boys. Come on. It's just the COVID situation has ravaged these Italian teams so much, and they just.
What's the price they're asking for Locatelli?
It's less of the price. I think it's about 30 million euros. So it's not huge fees, but I think it's the bonus is based on. So like you get bonus based on Juventus's qualifying for Champions League this season, and I believe that Sassuolo wants automatic buy-in of that amount. It's just something like that, but I feel like they'll iron that out, in honesty.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be an upgrade on their midfield with McKennie, but it's a pretty poor midfield. Outside of those two, you've got Bentancur, Ramsey, nothing that really scares me. In all honesty, so I feel like that's probably the part of the team that's going to let them down. The defense is still pretty good. Atalanta, Torino. Atalanta, I believe, will smash it. Atalanta's a fantastic side, brilliant coach. Are going to have a great season. They've done some brilliant business in the off season. They got rid of Romero for a lot of money over to Tottenham, and they've picked up Demiral from Juventus, which is a really good pickup. Lazio are a good team. They've got Sarri over there, who we'll see what happens. Inter's probably the one that have been picked apart the most. So they've lost Hakimi and Lukaku as well, replaced them with Edin Dzeko and Dumfries, which are probably like the poor man's Lukaku and the poor man's Hakimi. But they've replaced them with decent, experienced players. So, can't really knock them for that. They're in financial trouble. So that's
Dumfries was class for the Netherlands, though. Dumfries was class. Exactly. So, I mean, I don't think that they've lost as much as people think. So I think that it'll be a really exciting season in Serie A. The top six are really, really close, in all honesty. And I think that's why I feel like this season is cementing Serie A being the second league in the world, just because of the quality from top to six, not necessarily like the one or two teams anymore, like Juventus, Atalanta, Inter, Milan, which I don't even see them unless we go Sampdoria down the bottom. They're still up and about. Roma, Fiorentina, Napoli, even. So, Do you know anything about?
There
we go. What were you saying, Vincent?
Do you know anything about Mertens at Napoli? It doesn't seem like has been playing in these friendlies, or at least not included in the team. What's the deal with him? Do you think he's still part of this team now, or Seaman and stuff like that are coming through?
Yeah. You're the Napoli man, Luke.
I think so. I think it's again just Euros.
Yeah, the poor Euros, very poor Euros.
Yeah. I think it's just a break after that. They went basically straight to the Euros after the season finished. Short turnaround. That's why I don't think he was playing in these friendlies. Insigne was the one I was worried about, because there was a lot of rumors him moving. Mm-hmm. There still are now. That was the one I was more worried about out of the two of them.
Sure.
Just to touch on Napoli too while we're here, Osimhen's had a pretty cracking pre-season, and I think people are starting to see that, because I've seen, I've been buying Osimhen cards for a while and stickers. We've seen the newer products come out and his prices sort of jump a little bit, and to the point where I'm sending Dan comps. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, this is a bit more than I expected to pay for this, or what I was looking to spend on this. So I think, his preseason performances have been quite good. Even the back end of last year, he was very, very good. Hopefully he can stay fit this season. Back onto what you were saying, I think Insigne will be the one I was more worried about out of the two if they were going to go.
Okay, cool.
So we'll move over to the Bundesliga, and we had some interesting performances. 1-1 Bayern and Mönchengladbach, and the one that we all want to talk about, 5-2 with your boy Vincent. There he is. There he is. So we had a big game for Haaland and Reina fans. So 2 Haaland goals and a Reina goal, and I believe some assists by Haaland as well. Did you catch this one?
No, I didn't watch this. Yeah, it was 2 goals and 3 assists he had, Haaland. So he was involved in all five goals. Yeah, it's massive. Well, again, I think I said it last episode or last podcast. Like this is the best case scenario for him. Like score a ton of goals and get a ton of assists. That's how he's gonna become a household name if he isn't already in the soccer world or football world. Like this guy keeps on scoring and scoring and scoring, breaking goal scoring records. That's how he's gonna, in my opinion, put a legacy or leave a legacy in his game. It's not by winning World Cups or Euros. It's by scoring a ton of goals, and he's doing exactly that. I mean, every game it becomes like Immobile for Lazio. As soon as Dortmund scores, you just know it's him. So it's great to see though. Like I hope this guy scores, or I get to witness after Messi, Ronaldo, Haaland becoming an insane goal scoring machine. So I hope he does well. And it's good for the hobby as well because people keep putting money in it because of Haaland cards. But yeah, I mean, this guy is a machine. I love this guy. It's insane.
Hard to knock. No matter what league he's playing in, that is an immense performance. He had all off season to relax. You know, it's hard to argue with him. Like I understand he's the hype beast of the hobby. He hasn't done anything yet. People calling him the GOAT. But far out, man. Like he keeps proving it week in, week out, and it's going to be a very, very interesting season. And like, look at this team. It's so interesting how they blood young talent. Like they started with Reina and Bellingham, Haaland up front. One day Mukoku got off the bench, it looks like.
Yeah.
Thomas Delaney.
Mala joined too as well, right? Yeah, Daniel Mala
as well. That's
yeah,
right.
He came over.
He's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he came over from Feyenoord or PSV. He was the one to replace Sancho, or he's the one supposed to replace Sancho. But yeah, it's the Dutch guy.
Cool.
You guys summed that up pretty well there. Haaland on fire to start the season. Jeez. It'd be interesting if that had any sort of. I haven't looked at Haaland cards today. If that's gonna.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So did you post about
reacting to these?
Did you post Vincent about a super refractor rookie for Haaland that's come up and whether it's going to go over?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, of the finest set. That's right. It's in the Dortmund kit.
Yeah.
Someone did, but oh man, like that's on bids at the moment.
It's on bids, is it? Oh no.
What does that go for?
No. I don't even know.
For way too much.
Yeah, I think so.
That's huge.
But yeah, it just shows. See what he can do this season.
The last game we'll go through.
Let's put a prediction in. How many goals is he going to score this season in the Bundesliga?
In the Bundesliga or all competitions?
Bundesliga. Let's keep it at Bundesliga because all competitions, if they don't qualify for certain cups and stuff like that. So let's put Bundesliga.
How many goals a game multiplied by 30 games a year?
How many
goals?
let's take a look. What did they had last season? I cannot remember. I think it was 27.
I think cracks 30 for sure.
I reckon 34.
34. Bundesliga alone.
Yeah. Bundesliga alone. He had 27 last year in the Bundesliga, yeah?
Yeah. So it was Lewandowski with 41. Then you had my boy Silva with 28. And then you had Haaland with 27.
Yeah, I'm going to go 33. I'll go one less. 33. I'm going to crack 30, like Dan's saying.
What are your thoughts?
I think he has to do better than last season. Let's say 32.
I'll go 31. How's that? 31. 32.
We're all in the same area, though. So we're all...
Yeah.
At the rate he's scoring,
something else.
and yeah, I mean, the quality he has to at least cross 30. Or if he doesn't cross 30, that's like, Yeah.
Down season if he doesn't crack 30, does he? You expect him to improve on last season.
Yeah.
What I want to ask is how many goals in the Champions League? I think that's probably more important rather than what he's doing in the Bundesliga.
What do you have last season in the Champions League?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Vince has got there, doesn't he?
Yeah. I'm going to pull it up.
So it's sort of, I don't know, Champions League's a bit weird. Like you're saying, depends sort of what group he gets.
Yeah.
As well.
And do we think this Dortmund team is better than last season's? Again, the draw also depends.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to... Yeah, so last season he had 6 goals.
He had 6 goals in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Really?
Games?
Wow.
Let me see.
There's more games this season, isn't it?
They topped their group with Lazio, Club Brugge, and Zenit. They scored 12. Let me see what happened then. And then they went out in the quarterfinals against City.
That's a lot of goals, man. Like that's well on his way at that age to be one of the top scorers in Champions League history.
Only Morata
maybe
did better because he had an assist as well. Neymar scored 6 for PSG. Rashford scored 6 for Man United. But yeah, he's joint leading goal scorer if you don't count the assist from Morata. So he's in line next to Morata, Neymar, and Rashford.
It's just that he's done it on a Dortmund team.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Well, he's the best guy in the team as well, so you kind of expect it from him. Wow, it's hard to say for Royce.
It's hard to analyze it. It's hard to analyze it. And then we have the last game to look at: PSG 4-2 versus Strasbourg. Mbappe, Draxler, Icardi, and Sarabia. And without Messi playing. So,
I think
routine game.
What do you think, Luke? Off Messi from...
Is he?
I believe so, yeah. I heard it's going to be end of the month or possibly after the international break. Because there's one of those coming up as well. Everyone's least favorite weekend of the season. Yeah, pretty stock standard win there, 4-2. Yeah, I don't really have much else.
There's not much to say, is there?
Nah, we don't have much to say. Nah.
We always think that it's going to be like this every week.
I think it was at like 5 o'clock or something like that. So I didn't watch it. I stayed up and watched Chelsea, but if I watched the game, I would have probably given you a bit more there. But I've got nothing more on that.
It's because it's a trend I see with this PSG team. Even with the quality they have, they cannot stop conceding goals. They conceded 2 in the preseason against Chambly. Not even sure who that is. They conceded against Augsburg, conceded 2 against Sevilla, lost against Lille, conceded against Troyes, now conceded 2 against Strasbourg. So it's like, again, they score. They're relying on scoring more goals on the opposition, and obviously they have the quality for that. Obviously, you need to bring in Ramos. You need
I was going to say,
Ramos, Donnarumma.
I saw some stuff before the game. I don't know if they played though. Yeah,
so Navas, Hakimi, Kimpembe, Diallo, Kerrer, Wijnaldum, Herrera, Drexler, Junior, Mbappe, and Icardi. So I mean, still a great lineup. Obviously, Ramos and Donnarumma. If Donnarumma is going to play a lot, because can you really take away Navas in that lineup? I mean, he has been class for them over the last seasons, basically.
How can you get Donnarumma not playing?
Like,
seriously. But yeah, Navas is brilliant.
Sure, but
not,
I mean,
not like it cost him anything. Apart from his wages.
His wages are a lot. It's like they're just stacking it. It's like they've got him just so some other team doesn't have him.
Seems like. But yeah, there's still some quality coming back into that team
Yeah,
on top of the quality that's already there.
And if that's a trend that is going to continue, again, they're going to struggle in the Champions League. Like, you can have Messi and all of that, but he's not going to defend for you. So if they cannot stop conceding goals, they always have to be relying on scoring one more than the opposition. And I feel like that's how they've been losing out on Champions Leagues every single year, because they cannot get people not scoring. So, but
I
yeah.
feel like the inclusions that would shore up the defensive midfield a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably be fine in league. Well, that's what we thought last year. But the one who actually won the league, Lille, they lost 4-0 to Nice on the first league game.
Yeah, but their manager actually went to Nice now. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
a
wow.
wild
Did them
situation
over.
there. Yeah, that's a
And then
wild
Monaco lost
situation.
as well to Lorient. I'm not sure how you say that. I think it's Lorient.
Marseille's-
Lyon also lost to Angers.
Marseille drew. They're going to be one too. They've been one I've been looking at with some of the players on their team, but I'm going to talk about someone on their team a bit later in the episode. So we'll keep it for that.
Let's get into it now, mate. Go straight into it.
Now, straight
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
I want to go now. I want to go now because 45
Don't hold
minutes
back.
talking about the league. Let's get into the hobby.
It's a good segue though. That's a perfect
Yeah,
segue there.
friends, straight to you, man. That's how I was always gonna do it. So
Yeah.
take it from the top. So we're basically this part of the segment. I haven't named it yet, but we'll go with around the world. We all have a league or a player that we can go through, and we just take it through the top. Who are we looking at? Start with you, Lukey.
Okay, so as a lot of people, I'm guessing, have been doing the same thing with Messi moving to League One, or League One, whatever you want to call it. I just naturally with that, all the eyes go there too. So I thought maybe a little bit outside of the box and look at some other teams that weren't PSG that had some good players on it that I liked and I knew from watching them at other places and was able to research some of their cards and stuff. And one from Marseille that we were just talking about there was Guendouzi from Arsenal. He's still on loan. He played at Hertha last season, I believe, in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
On loan to Marseille this season. He's already had an assist out of his first 2 games. His rookie card, if you want to bring this up, Dan.
Yeah.
The one I've been sort of looking for is he has an Arsenal RC from Prism, 1920.
How do you spell his name? Sorry.
Guen.
Yep.
Douzi.
Okay. Let's bring it up.
Yeah,
So
just a player I when I would watch Arsenal, it'd be a player. He had so much of the ball. I remember the first time I saw him play. I've seen him play live when I went to the North London derby, probably 2 years ago now. He was I couldn't believe it. He was just everywhere. He's always had the ball and like the heart he shows for the team. He puts in 120%, and that's what I sort of like to see from players. Plays in the center of the park. A player that I've been looking at this season. When I think that eyes are going to be on League One. I think, Dan, when I mentioned it on the stream the other day, I think it was something you disagreed with in terms of when Ronaldo moved to Italy.
Yeah, so I guess what I was saying about that is, Ronaldo moving to Italy was very big for Juventus because you saw their social media following dramatically increase, people buying jerseys or the like, right? But I didn't really see any significant amount of new people watching Serie A in general. It'd be still the Champions League being the one to watch, and maybe just seeing replays of Juventus games, let's say. But it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting to see.
The thing with that as well is what I sort of thought is I feel like we're in a different stage now of, say, the hobby. Like when Ronaldo moved to Juventus, the soccer card boom hadn't sort of occurred yet. So I feel like we're in a different stage there where people are trying to find these, like hidden gems, for example, and taking a risk on the young guys because that's what, to me, a lot of the soccer card hobby seems to be, prospecting. It's something everyone likes to do. Everyone likes to take a punt on someone.
There we go.
So sorts, anyone? That's his picture there.
I was looking at rookie ticket. I couldn't find any.
Now Prism.
Oh, he's Prism. Okay, no problem. So that's his Pitch Kings, which I really think that's a brilliant card.
That's a good
I
card.
love the
Cool
pitchings.
Yeah, it's a great
and we
card.
said Prism.
Prism rookie.
The double rookie. And like you
go.
can still get some stuff, not that one there. Like you can still get some stuff real cheap. There was like a
$6?
numbered. There
Take
was a
that.
numbered out of there was a numbered out of 75 that went on bids for $8.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's some here that are a bit. We
That's
all know
that's from
we all know
that's
who's
from
selling. We all know who's selling that one.
Saucy's favorite.
Yeah, I
business.
sent them an offer too. They're yet to get back to me, but I didn't accept them, to be honest. Yeah, just in his Arsenal kit. He's on loan. He apparently has troubles with the club because I was asking some of my Arsenal mates on the weekend. I was like, why is Guendouzi not playing in your team? Because I rate him. And a lot of the Arsenal people I speak to, look, they like him as a player. You know, he gives 100%, 110% every time he gets out there. He's not technically bad. Like, he's a young player, so he's going to make some mistakes occasionally. You just want to try to reduce those as much as you can. But yeah, I don't know why he's not at Arsenal yet. Apparently, it's stuff to do with Arteta as well. Yeah, that's
So he's still owned by Arsenal, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's a good one, actually. That's probably a
chance
cheap get-in if you want to fly.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. I like it when we're not necessarily looking at the hype base or anything like that.
Yeah.
This is a good one that, and looks like, man, you could grade it, and if it comes back a 10, it's $447 for you. Thank you very much.
What's that one up the top? Is that a silver? Go up, the graded one. It's
that is
Silver
it looks like it
Prism.
is a silver.
Yeah. So if you have
Yeah.
a numbered out of 25, imagine what that could go for if he comes back to Arsenal and does something.
It's not a very expensive out of 25, is it? It's $149 Australian dollars.
If we're looking at completed items, the last out of 75 did $9. So I made an offer accordingly. Let's just put it that way.
I don't think you'll get accepted, mate. But anyway,
No, I
we'll
don't
see,
think so
we'll see what
either.
happens. Not from these guys, but anyway.
It was worth a try.
All right, that's a good one. Vincent,
Yeah,
you've
that's
got one
mine.
as well.
Yeah, I got one from Belgium, so everyone can hear the pronunciation. It's Charles de Ketelare. I know everyone's gonna butcher that name, but
I was just saying, there's no chance I'm trying to say that.
No.
Yeah.
Do
way.
you have in your magazine? Do you have your magazine there?
yeah. Well,
What would you call him on the magazine? King Charles, wasn't it?
yeah, King Charles.
Yeah.
So Charles de Ketelare is 20. He plays for Club Brugge. The 2019-2020 season was like his breakthrough season when he played in the first team for Club Brugge in the Jupiler Pro League. So he featured in the Beker van België, which is their biggest competition, or the biggest cup in Belgium. He played Champions League, Europa League. So in his first season at the first team, he already competed in all of these. In his second year, last year, he became a starter for the first team. He played 46 games. Only scored 5 goals and gave 8 assists, so his production was not really there. Now, I did say coming into this season that his production was going to increase because his underlying numbers are pretty good. It's not obviously your Grealish type of numbers, but he has 2.3 progressive passes per game, almost 3 progressive carries per game, 2 dribbles complete per game. So it's a guy who thinks forward. He doesn't like to go to pass to the back. He likes to get played with the idea of moving forward. So that's something that's really going for him. That's why a lot of teams like him, because his type of Grealish player that doesn't care about going backwards. Now this season he has played 5 games, scored 2 goals and gave 2 assists. So his production is already going up. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna perform better this season. He was also included in the Belgium selection for the Euros, but didn't come off the bench. He had 0 minutes there. But again, it's the fact that he was included over some more experienced players that had played on the international stage. I think it shows that I think he's being a potential player for the future. Now, if you look at our FBRF, it's a huge website for statistics. He gets compared to Mbolo from Mönchengladbach. He gets compared to Lacazette from Arsenal and Zaha from Crystal Palace. Now, obviously not in terms of quality, but in terms of statistical profile. So he does the same things as Mbolo, Zaha, and Lacazette. So again, interesting profile. And he's off to a good start. So the magazine I have, it's this is him, King Charles. It's an article about why he needs to play in the central midfield for Club Brugge. So also a good thing that's going from he plays for Club Brugge, so they're normally included in the Champions League. As I said earlier in this episode, they faced Dortmund, they faced Zenit and Lazio, and they were very close in actually qualifying. So he's in a very good team, a team that's been together for quite some time as well. They brought in Noah Lang, a very talented guy from Ajax who likes to dribble a lot. So yeah, it's basically the best team in Belgium. If Genk is coming close with Onuachu, Ito, and Bongonda, but Club Brugge is considered the main one in Belgium. Now, in terms of his rookie stuff, I have no idea. Tops is printing out so many stuff. So if it's top finest, Champions League, Chrome, I have no idea. But he has a finest, a Chrome, a Merlin, Stadium Club probably as well. He's going to be one of these guys that no one knows, but has an RC logo on every card that comes out. Oh, here we go, Stadium Club Chrome.
See, in saying that, Vincent, I'm looking at the cards now.
Yeah.
I think we're going to say the same thing here, Ben.
Yeah, I don't see any rookie card logo on this Topps Chrome, but this Topps Finest from the same season has the RC logo.
And the Stadium Club as well.
Yeah, now Topps is going to cop an absolute blasting soon. So we're going to talk about that. But is there any reason for that, or that's just Topps being Topps?
I have no idea, because Stadium Club came out of after the Chrome, right? So the fact that it's on Stadium Club and not on the Chrome, and it is on the Finest, I don't know. Topps being Topps, there's no logic in there. I don't know. I like this one though. The picture, I like the picture in this one.
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually a
Stadium Club, yeah.
It's out of 25.
That's a nice card, yeah.
It's a nice looking one.
Out of 25, is that on?
Like
I'm going to put that on the old watch list.
If you watch him play, it is not like, I don't think he's flary like a Pogba can be. But he just weighs on the defense. He keeps on going. You're never done with him. He's pretty tall as well, so he has a huge body. It's not like Buffy, but it's like his feet are everywhere, and he keeps going. He weighs on the defense, keeps on running, keeps on moving forward. You're never done with him with this guy. So yeah, I can see a great future for him, to be honest. Depending on if he ever wants to leave Club Brugge, because you also have Hans Fanaka, who won the Golden Boot in Belgium last season. His numbers are good, but I can never see him move out of Belgium because he's not that good, you know. But I can see this guy play in a bigger league for sure.
Very interesting. And how would you put him on, if you were to talk about like Kamavinga, Gravenberg, this guy? Like, is it the same type of player, or what's the thoughts there?
I don't think he's that good. Because no, I don't think he's that good. But I think he can be. He's still young. He only has seen Club Brugge, if I'm not mistaken. So he can become better, but I don't see him become a very decisive player on a team. He can be a good player on a team. Maybe some kind of Bernardeschi, you know, someone like that. Like he's good, but you wouldn't rate him one of the best players on your team. He's a good player and he can score you goals, but you don't put it. It's not the first one you put on a game sheet, I would say.
Got it.
But he will score you goals. He will get you assists. He will wear the other team's defense down. So he's an interesting guy. Also a forward, so he will get some highlights as well.
Now we're going to go into my pick, and that's Dusan Vlahovic. Now I really like how we are picking players that are unconventional here. We're not just picking the Haalands, Kamavingas, the Mukokus, or anything like that. And I feel like Vlahovic is a player that needs to get a lot more attention than what he's currently getting.
Is he a striker? Is he dead?
He's a striker, plays for Fiorentina, Serbian. This is his sticker, and I'll show you also his rookie ticket. That's it there.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, plays for Fiorentina, had a breakout season last season where he got best under 23 player in the league, was absolute dynamite for them. He's very tall. He's incredibly fast. He tore Juventus apart in our game against Fiorentina then. He, in terms of goal scoring record, I believe he scored 22 goals in Serie A, which is no mean feat against those defenses, especially considering he didn't get going until the second half of the season. And for under 22s, I believe, I checked it in April last year. I haven't checked it since, but at April last year, he was the only player outside of Haaland under 22s to top goal scorers, right? So he was second top goal scorer at that point in time. He has a huge move in him. I believe he's calling himself the next Ibrahimovic, and I really like that confidence. He's been linked to big money moves to Tottenham. He is a player that I'm picking up quick and fast. I made an offer to Cherry, $15 for each of his rookie tickets, and it's already an extreme bargain. And like everything, this is not financial advice or anything like that from any of our picks, but this is a player that I really like seeing, and I really like picking up cards that embody what I like to see from players, because this guy has a heart. He's got a heart like I've seen Chiesa have a heart. Fight for every ball, really demanding it. Has his back to goal, fights people off, lays off the ball, and obviously demands it back to put in the back of the net. So he's one I'm definitely looking at. And if you were looking at him, a few months ago, you'd be getting him a lot cheaper. I feel like his rookie ticket prices have gone up to about $50 Australian at this stage. But
really,
he has a massive move in him. He definitely does.
That's interesting. What were they a few months ago when you were picking up? Did you say?
I mean, I got him for 15, but that was incredibly cheap. That was probably really cheap at the time. Probably $25 was around where you would see his cards at on average, and they're definitely at 50. So yeah, we'll see. That was my pick.
I like it.
Now we're going to get straight into tops. Our favorite company so far. We've barely even talked about Panini, in all honesty, because these releases have just been coming thick and fast. There is, what's happened here? Sorry, completely stuffed up.
Tops are very efficient though. Look at them getting these products out. NFTs as well. They're on crazy. They're
very efficient, and I want you guys. You tell me. Do you want to talk about the products that they just released, or are we going to talk about the NFTs?
Well, I was just looking at that as we saw the Vincent's pick there. That top stadium club actually looks pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Was that a refractor? Was it? Because I'm looking at one here, which is a Camavinga. It looks like it's out of 25. It's just on the Becca website. Actually, pretty cool looking cards.
All right. So I've actually got this prepared. I've got it all ready to go.
Oh, you got it there, yeah.
I've got some of the stadium cards. So you saw one that was really nice. I'm going to show you some other ones.
I was literally just looking through the checklist to see if there was an Osman, but I just realized this is a Champions League release, so he's not in there.
Champions League release. So we've got Lucas Perrin on the bike.
Why is he on the bike?
I don't know.
What the hell is this?
We've got him, giving a bit of a stare to the camera. We've got Noah Lang to the camera as well. We've got Bellingham with his teeth out. Right?
What?
And we've
got Ansu Fati.
What the hell?
Yeah, and there's players
no ball.
in their training
no ball.
kits and everything, right? So
the hell.
Yeah, that's right. So that's interesting.
Why do you not see any of those in what I was just looking at?
This one is the most interesting, right? So cool.
What the hell?
Now, it's a very interesting step. However, I've got no problem, and like you mentioned, Lukey, last week, I've got no problem with multiple releases now, because you changed my thinking, right? You changed my thinking that multiple releases for the kids, getting at a different price point. I was actually on board for a second. Okay. Then after our podcast last week, Saucy got in touch with me and he said, Inception just came out, right? Inception just came out. Price point was, here we go. I believe it was, I can't even say it, £250, right? Sorry, £100. My mistake. £100 Inception.
Is that for that Tops Montgomery Burns Club, as we like to call it on Crunch Time?
No.
Or is that just everyone?
This was straight release,
Yeah.
£100. I tried to get on. The bots got me. Like I went as fast as I could. Entered my details in. Couldn't get it right. When you're looking at cards like this, and we'll go through the set, it does look like a pretty nice set. You know, looking at what these are going for at the moment, they're probably going for like £500 on the resale market. Like they're going a lot. So
yeah, 500 pre-order on eBay at the moment.
There you go. So, mate, whoever got in at 100, well done, because I definitely couldn't. Sold out in seconds. Okay. So that's one thing. Cool. They've set the price at a premium product for what it looks like. Look at that. Like, if this is anything like, that's a patch auto. That's a one-of-one patch auto. Whether it's going to look like that, don't know.
Yeah.
But that'd be sensational. That would be sensational, as well as that one, as well as this one here. This could be, if the one-on-one version of this card could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
Cool. So there's that. Then 2 days. So I was upset. £100 didn't get in. Saucy, all that. Then I see, and we've obviously talked about it. I see this come out, right? $214, so pounds, right? You can still add them to basket. Do you know why? Because print runs are going to be revealed after the sales window expires. Okay, that means there's going to be no limit. You can buy as many as you bloody want, right? I understand that there's messy autos. I get it, right? But I just showed you cards showing that this is a piss take product, in all honesty, right? This is a fun product that should be priced pretty low, get the kids involved, have a bit of fun, crack it, and you might get a messy, right? That's the way I see this product. For them to come out 2 days after they release Inception with Stadium Club at, you know, more than double the price is an absolute joke, right? And it actually says here, all sales are final, right? And I'm telling you, there was another, here we go, not responsible for printer errors, anything like that, right? £214 release for this. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. And I know that Vincent's obviously seen a little bit about the reception for this, but, you know, we talked about the amount of products that this company has pumped out, and seeing this recently is beyond the joke now. I'm not happy at all. Not happy at all.
Yeah, I mean, at what point is it gonna end? I mean, how many products did they release this year? And it's like competitions just came back. Like, I don't know. They're just flooding the market with product. And the thing is, every single product they release in the beginning, it's like super expensive as well. Like, people are still buying these products for like even for 500, right? On eBay, people would still pay that to get it. And that's insane. Like, prices, it's the same as with the I'm probably going to talk about it very shortly, but with the Tops NFT, it was the same kind of vibe with the Prism Boom. It's the same kind of vibe you get every time a new product get released. Like, before, it was even worse because there was like only 1 or 2 products getting released and everyone wanted to jump on it.
Yeah.
But now there is so many and people still jump on it because they all think the same. If I'm the first on the market, people will pay it anyway because I'm the first on the market, and the FOMO kicks in, and being the first one to send it to PSA or to SGC or whatever, and people will pay that price. If you're a big fan of whatever player and it's the first one on the market, you want it, or you might get tempted to buy it. So I didn't realize that. So at this point, it's like, I think around the same time they released that Inception or whatever that name is, that they also launched the Tops NFT. So it's not only like the physical world; they're also trying to do the same thing in the online world. So they're really putting out product left, right, and center everywhere. So it's, I don't know. And as you said, like if you go to the Instagram page, I went on the post of the Inception announcement. Like it's literally every single comment is either about why it's so expensive. It's the 15th product this season. It's another one. It's just at this point, it's just getting ridiculous. And it's so confusing as well. I like the fact that there's multiple points of entry and different prices, but it also makes it super confusing. Like for what product do you go? Like they all have the RC logo. So at one point, like, where do you go? Like, do you just go for the ones that look the best? Like,
Double coverage at the top. Of course.
so you see, someone's just
like-
said 215. Another one on RC. Jude, what a surprise! eBay listing 16 to
16.
rookie.
Here you are. Here you are.
There I am. 6 likes, 7 replies. I'm famous, you know. Surprised there's not an RC on Messi. Horrendous price. We're fed up. I mean, what a stupid price. Laughing all the way to the bank. It's just one after the other. Like people overpriced, greedy, easy pass. Messi. I mean, it just keeps on going one after the other. So it's
what I was just thinking there is if this is like a almost print to demand product, and you're saying it's for the kids with these these, I'm not going to say silly inserts, but inserts that are a little bit left field. Wouldn't you price it at wouldn't you price it a bit more accordingly? Not £215. And £215 is what? 450 Australian dollars. It's almost double, isn't it? Last time I checked the pound.
Yeah, it's almost double that.
That's a lot of money.
I can't believe
I don't know what kid has $450 just sitting around to buy boxes of cards, but I definitely didn't.
The point is, I just showed you Inception, right? Which looks like at face value a very, very nice product, right?
Yeah.
It's almost as though they mixed up the prices, Like if Stadium Club came out at £100, that reasonable, and then 250 for the other one. I think people would have snapped that up at 250.
Yeah.
Inception, but I don't understand. It's almost like they saw how quickly Inception came out, so they jacked up the prices on Stadium Club.
Maybe it's because Stadium Club has some kind of lineage in the hobby. If you look at the David Beckham, that's a Stadium Club. I'm not sure if there's an Inception set in any other market. I'm not familiar with any other market. So maybe Inception is a huge product in any other market. I don't know.
It looked like Stadium Club had a baseball release. I don't know if it's big in baseball or something like that, because as soon as I looked up top Stadium Club, I expected soccer to come up first, being the newest release, but baseball actually came up first.
Okay.
So they've got Lucas Perrin on a bike, right? on a bike. You're telling me that this is a premium product? You're going to charge £250 for it? Come on. Come on. You're taking the piss. You've got Jude Bellingham going like that with a rookie card. Come on, man. You serious?
I think they're priced accordingly there. Baseball has Inception.
Oh, okay, there you go. So maybe, but that's the only reason I can, and it's not even a reason, so I don't know. She just got drunk that night and they just put out a random price.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what the Top's pricing team there. I think they've had a bit of a mix-up, but it is what it is.
But I think they're just printing product because people keep on buying it. Like there isn't, if no one was buying it, then they were like, just drop it. But people keep on buying it, and obviously, the FOMO is something strange, but it always kicks in, and there's always people willing to pay that money for it, and they always think it's gonna go back up and stuff like that. But at some point, and it's hard to speak up against. Like no one's listening, no one's watching it. Like they'll just tell you you're a hater, or you're just salty because you missed out on the first release, or you can get it for 100. I don't know. It's good that people are starting to speak up on Instagram, though. I think that's the first step, because if everyone always keeps their mouth shut and they just let it go, then. But if you every time they release something now, they're gonna get this type of response on their Instagram. Maybe they start thinking about it. I don't know. They found money, because putting RCs on cards, especially from the Champions League, it definitely works, because otherwise they stop doing it. So from a company perspective, sure. From a hobby perspective, I don't know. I don't like it.
I get it. I get that, people are just going to buy it. But you set the price with Inception 2 days before. You know what I mean? Like, well, where's the company now? So where's the thought process there? In 1 week, you've released those two, and you released Bundesliga NFT as well, which we will go through right now. But where's the logic at all? Where is the logic? And the consumer loses out of this.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll get straight into the new release, which I actually think is half decent, right? So I'm not going to slam tops all day. We've got the Bundesliga NFT. I've had a little bit of a look at the page, and obviously you did a video on it, Vincent, so it'd be good to get your take on it. But it looks very top shotty, in all honesty. I think it's got that kind of look and feel about it.
Yeah, I think they base their stuff on Top Shot because they're, apart from the collecting aspect, there is no utility to this. So Top Shot is the same. You buy a clip or you buy whatever of a player and you hold it, and that's yours because it's on the blockchain, so it's your property. No one can take that away from you. But that's basically the only thing that you have. So you have a digital collectible, and I think utility is huge in something like this. Like, and it can happen. Let's say in 3 years' time, you go to a stadium of Dortmund, you hold 5 legendary NFTs, and you get a free drink, or you get a free entry, or stuff like that. I can see that's where NFTs are going. That's the whole idea. Gary Vaynerchuk launched his own NFT, and that's exactly what he does. Depending on what
cut out there,
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, Gary Vay, yeah.
Yeah, so depending on what kind of NFT you hold from him, you get some kind of bonus, like either early access to one of his books, or you get a free meet and greet at one of his conferences. And that's where NFTs are going. But this thing right here is just, you just have it. That's it. There is no utility. And it's, we just talked about the point of entry. Tubbs did actually a great job with the NFTs because the cheapest pack was $10. You still have to pay networking fee and sales tax, so I think it came down to $12 for the cheapest one, but I only gave you access to 5 NFTs. Now, if you bought the premium one, that was $85. If you include all of the extra fees, it was $94, and that got you 35. I think it was 35 NFTs, and you had access to the best one. I think that's a legendary one. So in the first release, the first pack, you didn't have access to the legendary one, and even in the premium pack, a legendary one was like 0.03%.
Right.
But apart from that, I think, sure, it's a start. It's better what they had before. I think it was either Tops or Panini had a website where you could buy these cards or some kind of stickers, but it wasn't backed by the blockchain. So if the website went down, everything you had was gone. So they did a better job with this one. Now, the blockchain they did it on is pretty bad. So it's, again, the Avalanche is not really your best choice. So for me, it keeps on loading. The first day I actually tried to buy 3 different packs. I had errors occurring every single time. And after a day, they just magically appeared in my wallet. So I actually bought them, despite it saying there was an error. So I didn't expect it to see there in my inventory. If someone says during a payment there's an error, I assume it didn't go through. But in this case, it actually went through. So
were they the $10 ones or the $85 ones?
So $10. Luckily, luckily, because otherwise I would have paid 3 $85 packs, which wasn't the idea whatsoever. But I went through some of the listings already on the first day, and they were insane. The amount of money people were asking for something like what was it? Top sale. So someone already sold this for $2,000.
Yeah. So it looks like very varied. So we're saying that in a similar vein to Top Shot, this could potentially be the numbered variants, or the numbered cards, but lower numbered is worth more. The one or the player number is worth more. Is that kind of how it would work?
I mean, maybe if That's the first one. Yeah, sure. It's actually numbered. Yeah, sure. The one out of whatever is always going to demand a premium for the collectability reasons. Or
I'm saying
the
that number 2 only went for $100. So
yeah. I mean, then again, there's no reason to buy stuff like this, and unless
Something
I
that
mean, it's
translates
cool.
over-
It's cool to have it, but then just wait for the out of 75 whatever and pay $5 when the hype dies. But I mean, someone paid 2,000 for this. Like, I don't know.
the only thing I can think of is that's the number one.
Yeah, maybe.
this one here is the number 1, yeah, and then
'Cause I
everything
know-
else is.
Because I know
Sure.
from
Could be.
Top Shot that could be something that translates over is the lower serial numbers, like the more desired. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter how
it's-
many it's out of.
Yeah, it's a saying. It's
Um,
so rare.
Yeah.
It's purely that collectability thing.
I personally I
But,
haven't been on this page at all yet.
Mhm.
But I don't mind the look of the cards. The thing that I like about, say, Top Shot, though, it's like a moving moment. I saw it there on one of the Harlan cards main screen. Does that happen for every card? It's like it's got the card,
No,
and you click
it's-
on it and it flips over and it's like a highlight or some shit, is it?
it's
Is it
only the
some cards, or
legendary.
is it no cards?
It's only the legendary
right,
version,
okay.
and those only come with the
Yeah.
premium packs.
Okay, right.
So I'm actually
Yeah, I
gonna
think
look for that one.
interesting concept. And with this whole thing of because now they're starting to bring out like little display, we'll call them tablets, yeah,
Yeah.
that you can now display NFTs on. Because I've
Yeah.
been looking at Top Shot a fair bit in the last few days, and now that I know that these things that are these like devices that you can start projecting your NFTs are coming out, I'm now more inclined to say buy something like this because you can have it. It's on
Yeah.
my shelf there. Look, have it on my shelf there, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a moving highlight package that just replays, and it's almost like they say it's going to become art. This stuff with the cards as just like a card, like just like a stagnant card. I guess I see the idea in it. Yeah, there we
it's
go.
from
See
the
how you got the highlight
Scorpion.
there. Like
Yeah.
that's sick. That's sick. Just the playing card by itself, I don't know if I love it, to be honest. But I think they've designed these really well. Is like if you just had it just
Yeah.
sitting there, similar to these boxes just to display, I think it looks all right. It's something I've always been skeptical on though is these design of these card NFTs. But I think these ones Tops have done a pretty good job, to be honest.
Yeah, they really
I'll
went
tell you
for eye,
what, that is
they really
really
went
cool.
for eye appeal on this
Exactly.
one.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. If everything was like that, that's awesome. But you were saying it's just the legendary ones, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. The more prestigious ones, yeah. So they really went for eye appeal. True. I had someone message me that they didn't like the fact that there was no position on the card or on the NFT. So you basically have, if you don't know the player, you have no idea where he plays on the pitch. But then again,
okay, position, yeah.
yeah, do you want it on your card or not? Because that's the whole issue people have with adrenaline and match attacks. It's actually on the card that they actually have numbers on it. So for this one, this design tells me they purely went for eye appeal. And it does look great. Like if you open a pack, it's like with opening a FIFA pack, like it opens up and you have some kind of noise and stuff like that. So it's pretty nice. And it's,
Is there a
I mean,
there?
sorry?
Baku?
Baku, yeah.
No.
Sorry to cut you off.
While I'm looking at that, we've got a few comments. Japan sports card. Call me old-fashioned, but I've always collected things that I hold in my hand. Not interested in anything that I only see on the computer. Saucy says not all NFTs have moving parts. He thinks it's actually better that it is stagnant. It's quite interesting.
Oh, really? You like a better source like that? That's interesting. What's Baku going for?
Am I finding no BAKU? Is that how you spell
Yeah, it's on the right there. Woolsburg.
it? This one, yeah. So these super rares. I don't know if you can filter out.
I'm gonna look at this later. I'm gonna look at this off stream.
Lowest ask was 800. It says
So
800.
you might,
12.
yeah.
If it's got one with a highlight, I'd actually be pretty interested, to be honest.
He may
Not
not.
an 800 US, not an 800 US, but
He may not have a.
yeah, maybe
legendary.
not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. That's cool. Yeah, sorry, there's just one player I've been collecting. I just want to have a look if you had.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
think the designs are great. They're great looking. The borders match their shirt and stuff like that. So it's really nice. Point of entry is low too. Some cards cost $2. So if you're into collecting something digital for the first time, you don't have to overspend. It's $2, and you can buy your favorite players, or at least the players are listed for $2.
What are those
So
ones numbered out of? Just out of curiosity. Those like
81. 81 minted.
yeah.
Oh, right. No, I mean not this one. Like I mean those ones that are like say $2 or whatever. Are they
Oh,
like
they're
12,000 or something like that?
yeah, something like that. I don't
'Cause I
know.
feel like as
Yeah.
this grows, these small amounts, like 81 minted there, for example, that's extremely low
That's
in
low.
terms of
Yeah.
population for what this NFT thing could become.
So if this is your first introductory to NFTs, then $2 entry point, I think it's great. But yeah, for me, it lacks usability, utility. It looks great, but that's basically all it does for now. It can change in the future, obviously, but for now, this is good for people that never did anything with sports cards of NFTs or whatever, and they want a low entry point to see what it is. But great design though. That's something.
Yeah,
And also the
design's
fact that they released a $10 pack as well, so they didn't go for 25, 50 or whatever. It's like 10, which is I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was
I think Top Shot's around the same. I think a Top Shot, like they've got these new like common packs or whatever now. Like your starter pack, for example, I think they're about $9.
yeah, it's okay. 9.
So is there something they're going to do in like drops? Because I'm asking questions because I haven't done enough research into this, to be honest. Are they going to drop
That's
packs?
good for everyone.
Like, yeah, they're going to drop packs in. I don't know if you know, Vincent. Are they going to drop it in like in say like drops, for example, like they did with Top Shot, or?
So when they released it, they had I think 50,000 normal packs and 25,000 premium packs. You can normally see at the shop if they're still available. I have no idea if this still thing is going.
Yeah, it was. I was going to buy one to rip on air, but it was too complicated to get going, and I need to do it off air now.
To be honest, like I'm going the Top Shot route, I'm buying just the moments that I like and like the single ones rather than buying packs. I know a lot of people for Top Shot, they say it's probably more value buying packs. So this was a video I saw a few months ago, to be honest. But you actually get more value out of the packs because all the moments you get are usually worth more than what the pack cost you. I don't know if something like this is going to correlate the same.
I haven't actually watched if my thing's sold already. I have to rewatch it. But from what I was able to get, there was no way I break even.
No way. Okay.
From the 3 packs, no, unless I get really lucky and someone actually buys that autograph I had for 25. There's no way I'm breaking even. But that was only 3 normal packs, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's interesting because Top Shot, you always kind of made some kind of money, even on like a $10 pack. You always would, but I think maybe because this is Bundesliga, at the end of the day, they're focusing on maybe 2-3 players, in all honesty. I'd love to see a Bellingham. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
But if this was Premier League, is that how you spell his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he not have any? It's interesting.
Imagine they brought a Champions League one of these though. And
that's exactly what I was going to say.
And all that stuff.
Exactly what I was going to say. So you're hitting the top players in the world.
Yeah.
This could be big. They need to fix up the website dramatically because it's so slow to navigate.
Is it that
Jesus
bad?
Christ.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's a nightmare to get through. But yeah, like anything, you get in on the ground floor. It'd be pretty cool. Japan Sports Cards, before we move on. Bazooka Joe Comics, what's up with that? So I've seen that come up a few times. What is that all about?
Yeah, that's a product again they had on the NFT website. So it stops NFT, and then the Bazooka Joe was something they tried. Ziggy No reached out to me and he said that was a big bust, that it wasn't like people were expecting it to be and stuff like that. I actually have no idea what it is. I heard of it, but I never looked into it. But apparently someone who is in this for a longer period of time said it was a total bust. So I have no idea.
Crypto Strikers. I'm not sure what that was. There might have been something that did come up, but yeah, it's an interesting play. Like I definitely think NFTs in general are just so early in the game. Like it's like buying soccer cards, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that. Like people will look at you stupid, in all honesty. And I think I think this will definitely become something, but we are very, very early in it. Even with Top Shot, same type of thing.
Yeah, as I said to, I think it was you during the week. I've been talking to a few people about NFTs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As this whole the being able to display them and then becoming more of like an art thing, I think these develop even further and the popularity really grows. And yeah, like I was telling some of my mates about it. Not into cards at all, you know, have nothing to do with it. And I was just telling them about like how Top Shot works, stuff like that. And they're like, "Wow, that's really sick." They've ended up like, you know, doing a bit of research into it too, and are pretty interested in what's going on.
Absolutely. I think the tangible aspect brings in a lot of the collectors from, you know, that have been collecting for a long time, potentially. Yeah. You know, is kind of the like Japan Sports Card says, call me old fashioned, I like things in my hand.
Yeah. I was gonna say Japan Sports Card, if you're still there, if you were able to display it in your, say, house or your room or whatever, would that be something you're more inclined to go after and maybe collect or buy? See if you can. And
the reason why I brought up So Rare, and I'll let Vincent give his thoughts on that because I know he did a video on it recently. But this is an interesting play because it kind of reflects real life and what could potentially develop in terms of your asset and even like an income type of thing. So it kind of has a little bit behind it than just a visual low numbered aspect. It kind of has that play to it as well. So it'd be interesting to see how this goes. But what are your thoughts in this area?
I love Sorare. I also make Sorare content. I'm pretty active on this too. This is what I mean with usability utility. Like you buy the card, it's yours because it's again backed by the blockchain. So if you buy, it's yours for the entirety of the guy's career or how long this platform stays online. Let's say Theo Bongonda, he's a great player. He's one of the best forwards you can get for specific divisions. He scores you a lot of points. With these points, you can win other rewards. You can either win cards, you can win thresholds, so you get paid out in Ethereum. So that basically means you're making money out of it.
Oh wow!
And this is what also is great about this platform is you don't need to buy your Mbappe to get good scores because Mbappe doesn't score you a goal every single week. You have guys in the MLS, you have guys all over the world, even in Belgium, that will score you a goal or give an assist or make a decisive action every single game. So you can lose against an Ajax team with a Neymar, a Lewandowski, and Mbappe, whatever. So you can really build your own team depending on how much effort you want to put into research and stuff like that. Even Chiesa, he can get you good scores, but there are MLS players who give you better scores on a weekly basis. So it's not because you have your Neymars and your Mbappes that means you're automatically going to win rewards on this platform. So research, knowledge, and scouting really comes into fruition, as you can also buy players that maybe are injured or are not performing out of favor with the coach. New coach comes in, you have his card, and all of a sudden his card starts scoring 5 goals a game. I had that with a couple of players that I knew were injured. I paid maybe €25 for them. They came back into the team and I sold them for 150, 200.
Wow.
Players that people don't really know because they're from Belgium. My defender, I bought him for 100. I can now resell him for 300. I bought McKenzie when he was not playing for his MLS team for maybe 100. I can now sell him for 400. So if you really have deep knowledge of players, teams, you can really buy these players on a cheap, on a dime, and you can resell them when the competitions return. Because as this game is really built about utility, players that will not score you good points or are not playing in the team will go for basically nothing, as they have no utility in this platform. So it's important that if you buy or jump into this, that you really keep that in mind. Also, they brought in a new scarcity. The whole thing about Sorare is that the entry point was too high. A rare goalkeeper, so that's a red one. A starting rare goalie was €500-600 for one guy. So the entry point was too high for a lot of people, so they brought in this yellow. It's limited. It's a new scarcity. Now, obviously, the one out of 1,000. The one out of 1,000 went for huge money. The very first limited card in this platform was an Iniesta, and that went for like 1,800. or 1100. I think it was 1100. If you go to his rare card, so that's out of 100, that went for 200. So yeah, if you go to Iniesta.
Is this the way to search, or maybe?
No, you have to go, top Iniesta.
So does this have every league in the world?
No, not yet. They're bringing in more and more leagues. They're bringing in more and more teams, more and more players. So it's building. Go to cards.
So my question to you is it? Do you get more money based on the fact that it's a rare version of that player, or just based on his performances? Like, why wouldn't I buy a very cheap version of him and get the same points as the rare one? Does it kind of reflect what your entry price was?
Yeah. So the rewards come with the league you're playing. So, for example, for the rare ones, you can enter leagues where you can win €600 if you finish first. Now, obviously, with the lower scarcity, there is no reward that gets you €600. So the more money you spend on players to compete in higher divisions, the more money you can get out of it.
So is there multipliers for lower serial number? I'll call them serial number, like lower numbered cards. So say you got your 52 out of 100 there. There's no multipliers. Okay.
No, so it works with a score matrix. So depending on the size of actions, passes, possession lost, and all of that. So it goes much deeper than, for example, Premier League fantasy, because that's most of the time is just scoring, assisting, yellow, red. This goes much further. So the size of actions as well.
Okay.
And you build up, so you have a training team as well. So if you have more cards than you can use in your squad, you can put them for training, and that gets you XP. And with the XP, you see like at the first one, it's plus 8%, or is it 6? I cannot see it. The first card.
The first one's 8%.
Yeah, so that means whatever score he has plus 8%. So if you have the same card of the same player, and someone else has 6% and you're 8%, you probably end up getting more points because you have 2% more because of training, because of whatever.
Oh wow, okay.
So then you
fantasy and ultimate team put together almost.
Exactly. So that's the best way to describe it.
I've never used this platform before. I've heard people shit on it. But
so
I've never used it before. I've never done enough research.
Yeah, that's super rare. So these get a lot more extra XP. You also have a unique that gets even more. I think that's 50 or 52%, but those cost, those are super expensive. So it goes, before it was common, that was the free ones you got, and then it jumped to rare. That's why the gap was too big, because rare was the entry point. Now it's limited. I've seen players go for $200-300. It's still a lot, but if you want their rare cards, it's 2,000. And now you can pick them up for 200. I see some players like the one I was talking about, my defender. You can pick him up for like $20 or €20, and in the rare version it's 200 or 300. So the game became a lot more accessible because they want to be a global game and they want to attract a lot more players. And they did that exactly by printing limited cards. I think they're only at like number 7 or 8, and there's 1,000 of them. So by the time you reach 500-600, the entry point is going to be so low that it would be crazy not to at least try it, because even in the other divisions, the lower divisions, you still have a shot at making some money. So that's why I love Sora, because the utility is just there. And if you're semi good at researching, and you know some players that maybe others don't from leagues other people don't really look at, because you have the Russian league in there, you have this Portuguese league in there, Japan, China. There's so many different.
Australia?
Belgium. I'm not sure about that one.
I doubt it.
I
But
wouldn't invest in it.
they're bringing in a lot of leagues and teams on a fast pace. They're doing a really good job of onboarding. I mean, they have Lask, they have Krasnodar, they have from all over the place. So,
And another question I got: is this licensed?
yeah, it's 100%
licensed?
licensed. Every single team that's on there is officially licensed.
Right. Okay.
I think I saw Liverpool was on here as well.
Yeah, Liverpool is definitely on there.
It's very, very interesting. I like it. I'm actually going to have a little bit of a play, because I can see an opportunity where you can get in on the lowest entry point and then just, playing around, you can build yourself up very, very quickly. Saucy actually he said there, Gary V's been asking about it. I believe he's an investor in this.
I thought he was an investor as well.
Yeah, he was one of the early ones. Because of him, the whole market boomed as well, along with the Prism boom. I think it was around the same time. He openly talked about how he picked up an Mbappe and how he picked up a Joao Felix. Now I think he has 3 or 4 Mbappes and 3 or 4 Joao Felixes. So the whole market kind of exploded. The card was maybe $50 before, all of a sudden jumped to 500 and stuff like that. You also have professional football players actively tweeting about it. Like they brought in Griezmann, who has been openly tweeting with people on the platform about his cards and competitions. They have some international stars actually invested in the platform. So they're not paying them to make promotion, but the players promoted themselves because they want to see it succeed. I also think they just raised like 500 million, and they haven't really done anything for marketing. They're starting to do some marketing on Snapchat and TikTok, I've seen, to promote the limited stuff, but they've not done whatsoever marketing. I mean, they've raised 500 million. Just imagine how much of a marketing campaign they can put up with that. So it's they also have players themselves sign up for the platform, and they get their own unique card with an autograph on it. So Griezmann had one. I think Nicolas Storm had one. So professional players get their own cards and stuff. So it's great. It's a great community as well. Oh, Crypto Strike. Never heard of that one.
Sorry, I'm on mute. Yeah, the people in the chat are talking about Crypto Strikers, and the website looks very primitive. But it looks like first NFT sports card project on Ethereum, which is always a good thing. Pack sale ended during the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and no new cards can be minted. Only 10,260. What the hell?
It's crazy though. Print.
Yeah, that's not much at all, is it? It's on OpenSea. Okay. Right. Sorry, we're just if this is a little bit clunky, and if you're listening on pod form, you're probably thinking, what the hell's going on? But we are looking at OpenSea, which is a platform for NFTs, which is very, very slow on my computer at the moment, which is probably because I've got about 50 tabs open. But I believe this is, so we've got some really big players here. All right, okay. So this was obviously released in 2018 World Cup, and looks like pretty.
First reaction: I don't love the design, but I see it could be something. I don't know, the way NFTs are going, like how CryptoPunks and stuff like that. People really love that stuff. I could see this. People being interested in this, to be honest. What are they worth?
Yeah, look, great design.
I mean, that's like, for this player here, that's half an Ethereum. It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
if that's the way that I read it.
What's half an Ethereum? Like
13, 1400.
Yeah,
that's a fair bit.
I mean, it's not like he's. I don't even know who he is. I've never heard of him.
Can you search? Is there search like a Ronaldo or something? Surely there's one.
I mean, I would think so. Hold on a sec. How do I search in this? No, because this is, you don't really search like that. This is kind of like just the marketplace. But Salah is 0.735. The key is Gary V's been asking about this. It's the only reason why he brings it up. Okay.
So that Salah is $2,000. Euro. Sorry, 2,000 euro.
2,000 euro. Right. Wow. Isco. I don't know why he would be more than Mario Mandzukic. You know what? I think it's probably the way to go would be if I filtered it by price, and then I probably would say that Ronaldo would hit the top.
Yeah, I think so.
Here we go.
If not, I'm going to be surprised.
Or Messi.
Messi, yeah. Or
James Rodriguez. Oh, these are cool. Hold on a second.
420 Ethereum.
420 Ethereum.
That's
Oh, no,
1
what's the
million.
Ethereum price?
That's 1,171,000.
Gary V can go buy that one. I don't know. If the that one. Tell Gary V you can have it. What's
Oh,
it
that
about?
Lewandowski is great. Mbappe, 100.
They're very cool. Those like
Yeah, I rate these ones.
278,000.
I really like these
278,000.
ones. So
That's
these
a
are
lot
numbered
for
at a
them.
9. All right. Oh, and then
Really?
now we're talking, guys. Now we're talking.
and what are
Look
the
at
ones on the
Harry
right numbered
Kane.
out? What are the like the normal, so the base card? What are they numbered out of?
I think this is a variant of the other ones we were looking at, but it looks like
right.
the number
59.
59, correct? Yeah.
That
James
game
Rodriguez.
looks great.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the
40 ETH.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. Yeah.
Bro, 40 ETH is 111,000.
Look, this is what they want for it. Whether they're going to actually get it,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
you make
What
offers
was the
for
last
it.
sold
But
on some of these?
yeah, that's a
if you
good question.
Pogba was what 0.75 there last sold.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So he's trying to flog it off for incredible amount. Let's have a look at last sold on that Ronaldo at the top here. Here we go. Last sold. That's still 20 Ethereum. That's
20.
significant.
20, that's 55,000.
There you go.
Almost
That's a lot.
56,000.
Actually, that's actually, to be honest, that actually doesn't seem that bad.
Well, if you go from 1 million to 55, that's that's good.
Yeah. Sounds good. I wouldn't mind seeing the history of this card and like how many.
Because I'm guessing this is all on the blockchain as well, so you can see every like move it's made.
Yeah, that's good about Sorare as
Yeah.
well, and the Tops NFT. You can really track the history. Some people really look for cards that ever were from Griezmann or stuff like that. You can really see on the blockchain that it was owned by and for how much you bought it and sold it for. So that's power of the blockchain.
I was gonna say that's something I've been looking at on Top Shot as well recently. Just like how many like say Trey Young highlight, for example, how many like moves it's made and where it's gone, and like the selling price there. It's crazy.
So this one's there's 12, but this is number 7. So we understand why this one's been priced so much. But still, that's pretty cool. This is a cool player. I'm learning a lot.
What's like the history on that? That's actually sick.
There's not much.
It doesn't tell you.
So no, it's here. But so it was minted, and then this chain's had it, and then he sold it to this guy for 20 Ethereum, and that was it.
A day ago, is that right?
Well, I mean, it looks like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought, didn't it say 2018? This is very
yeah, it said there was nothing minted anymore. Yeah, strange.
Yeah, this is interesting. Something like, but you know, with the artists on
this is what happens.
Yeah, live content, yeah, exactly right. But to be honest, if you listen through this whole podcast for the 4 hour and 47 minutes, you've picked up some really, really cool players, and you've picked up some really cool plays as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This whole NFT space is so sick. It's so sick.
Yeah. I think this is
It's interesting as well, as it's a new kind of collecting. When I just discovered NFTs, I was like, no way I'm buying something I cannot see, hold, whatever the case may be. It's like, I think it was a bit like Japan said. But if you think about it, like nowadays, everything becomes more digital. And do we really want to? It's like, it goes so much further than that as well. In the future, like you're gonna ask someone's IG, but you might also want to ask someone's wallet to see what places he went, like what concerts do you like, some stuff like that. Just it will become more of a daily life. And also it's hard in the beginning. It's hard to wrap your hand around it. Like, why would I want to buy it? But if you buy something with utility or something you really like when I went to school, it was kind of the transition between doing homework on paper and computer. Nowadays, it's all on computer. I cannot imagine a school where you go to, maybe like the lower classes, but like when you're 15, 16, you either have a laptop, you're going to miss out completely on school. So everything becomes more digital. So, and the utility thing and whatever you're going to see in the future, I think, as you said, Luke, it's so early. We're so early in this. It's basically now, and this is your opportunity to make a decision for maybe the next 50 years of your life. It sounds so dramatical, but it's basically like that. Like people investing in Ethereum or Bitcoin back in the day, people would call them stupid as well. Like, are you really buying some coin that doesn't exist? Like, give me 100 Ethereum right now.
That's why I think the big IP things, you know, your NBA, especially sport, because people relate with it on such a high level. Those big IP things, I feel like they're just it's very obvious. I say, but you know, maybe I could be wrong. I could look like an idiot, but it seems very obvious in the way this is going.
Yeah.
But tell me you don't want that. Like, if you're a Kante fan, like, that is so cool. That is so cool. And you know, there's this which I guess you'll need to eventually get to the point, like Vincent said, where having a wallet and it's shareable and people will share it amongst each other and kind of look for clout is important.
It's almost going to be like a flex.
It's going to be a flex.
I've got the Ronaldo crypto striker out of 7.
It's going to be flex. And when I have to worry about, you know, selling on Facebook and selling on eBay and all the rest of it and having to ship it, like Saucy was saying. Don't have to worry about any of that. And if you put utility behind it, like, you know, as much as I probably bag Gary V's friends because of the imagery, but it's not even about the imagery. It's about what you get behind it. It's all the VComs, and you're seeing that with So Rare as well. Like, you've got the card, and the image of the card is average, in all honesty. But I mean, that's not what you're buying. You're buying all this stuff that comes behind it, and I think the more and more that happens, the more and more becomes valuable. And I feel like those things will become valuable first. And I think that's probably what Top Shot is maybe missing in some respects. Like, it doesn't really have a huge amount of utility outside of owning that particular moment, and that will over time come into play.
Just to add on that, I heard recently they did something, I don't know, I heard it briefly in a podcast. I was sort of working and listening at the same time. But they did something where, like, if someone had a certain set, they got tickets to go to some event or something like that.
Yeah. So the more and more they do that, it'll make it better.
It's just enticing people to get into it. But I think, like I was saying before, I think as you can start sort of displaying these things and the technology with that stuff sort of progresses, this stuff just goes with it. This stuff goes with it. Especially like the early, I'm going to talk about Top Shot a lot on this, but you know, the early, like season 1 Top Shot, for example, or those 2018 crypto strikers, there's only 10,000 of them minted. And apparently there's no more, but we saw there. I don't know about that one, but I feel like the early stuff is important.
Yeah, and people have been doing it for a long time. Like, look at mobile games where you buy skins; those are NFTs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people already doing it. It's not now. It's with crypto, and it's more expensive now. People like some that looks fishy, but it just gets getting used to, and people will do it eventually. If the utility on these things become bigger and bigger and bigger, there's more people wanting to buy, because as Dan said, it's not only about that image. It's whatever you can do with it or what's being built around it. That's the most important thing. If it then looks great as well, there you go.
Good stuff, lads. That was great. Great chat. I think there's no point going through our picks because we've gone way over time, and we'll leave it for next week. Thanks, everyone, for joining. It was an epic episode. Hopefully you got a lot out of it. We'll see you next week from Dan, Vincent, and Luke. Thank you for joining. See you next week. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Soccer Card Collective on the Double Coverage Media Network. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to know when we go live. Also, feel free to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.